So I was talking that yesterday we have seen how to create a model, right? Yesterday I have shown you a pickle file. We have seen the steps how to create a pickle file. Till this point, that is what we have seen. And after that, I have shown you the use of that pickle file which we have saved, which we created with the help of Jupyter Notebook. I have shown you the use of that in this particular application. Right. So whatever the code which you are able to see here on the screen, that code is written in PyCharm IDE. It's a simple Python code, and what we have done is we created some folders. We created some .py files, that is Python files, and we have used some HTML files. Okay, and some other files which we require for deployment, and then we actually combined, or we kept those files at one location or inside one folder. Right now, what happens in real time is whenever we create one model, right? So obviously, as people should be able to make use of that model in real time, so obviously if it is on cloud, everyone will be having access to that particular product, right? So that's what, that same kind of a thing, similar kind of thing I'm trying to do it here. Later on, I will be explaining you meaning of all these folders: static, template, how actually we are using HTML file. This app.py is our main file. This is a Python file, which is a starting point of our application, I can say. So I will be explaining you the flow of this particular code. What one requires to understand this code is basic knowledge of Python. Even if you are not aware about HTML, even if you are not aware about cloud, no problem. Right? Those steps I will be talking about. App.py is the file which is our main file, which is going to be our starting point in this case, right? So, and all the other files, this final underscore model.pickle file is the file which is our model actually, which we created in the last session. And I'll explain you what is proc file, what is requirements txt, right? Now, so this one, whatever you are able to see now, it's a Python code. So here you can see, here somewhere you will be able to see we have used .pickle file, and because of that pickle file only, we are able to predict, our model is able to predict something. Let me show you a running version of this particular model once again. Right now everything is loaded. Let me go and let me click on the run button. Okay, this is what we have done yesterday. Let me first of all run the application onto local machine. Okay, so as I told you, today we are going to see how to deploy this particular application onto cloud. This is what we want to see today. Now see what I'm able to see here. I'm so when as and when I clicked on run app, I'm able to see one link. Now just try to understand what is this 127.0.0.1. You might be knowing that it's a wizard IP address, and this IP address is used for localhost. Localhost means your machine. In my case, my laptop. And what is this 5000? This 5000 is actually a port number. You might be knowing whenever how actually internet works. Whenever in address bar, whenever we type www.google.com, so how actually everything actually works. So this is the thing, but what this is a DNS, domain name service, right? So instead of using numbers, actually for a humans it's easy to remember the names, right? So in that case, what happens is ultimately this is also going to be converted into IP address only, right? So suppose this is the IP address 192.168.2.174, something like this. So after this IP address, we always use port number. Now port number is depending on what? Port number is depending on the type of a service. Like for example, there are some wizard port numbers. You might be knowing that port number 21 is for FTP, file transfer protocol. And for sending and receiving the mail, you might be knowing this is a protocol called as SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, port number 24. For HTTP, there is a port number 80, right? So these all port numbers are fixed, right? And there are some port numbers which we are free to use. For example, 5000 is the default port number which is actually used for web application, and that's why we have given 5000. Instead of this 5000, if I would have written 8001, that will also work, no problem, because it is not fixed, right? So the point of telling you all these things is that this is how actually it runs. The meaning of this particular link is that this is the local host and this is the port number. on which the service is running. Now what I have done yesterday, so I can just go and click on that particular link, or I will just go and copy it. Once I copy it, and I can go to the browser, and I can just paste that particular link here and hit enter. And then when I hit enter, I am able to see the front end where I can go and where I can type all the files. So GRE score yesterday I shown, right? GRE score, suppose 301 marks someone has got out of 340. Profile scores out of 120. Suppose someone has got 100 marks. University rating, suppose 4 out of 5. Statement of purpose 4. Letter of recommendation 4. CGPA, suppose 9. And research done or not, suppose no. And then go and click on predict. So it will show me result. This is what we have seen till now. Now same thing you people should also be able to do from your machine on this particular application. That's what I want, right? See, now it has shown me the result. Now, what I want is, I want you people to make use of my application by sitting at your home. You might get any location. I want you people to make use of my application. So for that, we are going to do deployment of the application, right? So the point of telling you all these things is that you should understand what happens from the start till the end, from data fetching till the deployment. Deployment is actually the last. And obviously, after deployment, there might be some maintenance and all those things. Obviously, they are there. But in development phase, deployment is the last. So I talked about, I actually named some of the clouds which are available, right? Amazon Web Services, right? There is something called as Microsoft Azure. This is also a very famous cloud. Some of you might be aware about it. Then there is something called as Heroku Cloud, which we are going to make use of today, right? Then there is something called as Pivotal Cloud, or it is also called as Cloud Foundry. And then there is something called as Google Cloud Platform. Like this, there are different clouds which are available. Oracle Cloud is also available, and so on. So you can make use of these clouds for free, but specifically talking about Heroku, it is free. You can deploy 5 applications, and it is free for 2 years. And there is no need to mention any credit card details or debit card details, and that's why I will prefer this one. If you understand any one of these, to learn others will not be difficult for you, right? So what I will do is, I will try to deploy this particular application onto Heroku Cloud, and then I will share the link with you people, and then you go and you make use of that particular link, and you will be able to access my application. Let me show you the steps in detail. Okay, I hope you people are getting whatever is going on here. Let me show you. See, in my case, I already created a Heroku account. If you people want to create a Heroku account, you can also create it. It will not take much time, 5 to 7 minutes only. It is like just creating a Gmail account, right? So see, if I go here and if I try to Google Heroku login, in my case, I have already deployed some applications already. So those applications will be able to see here. So just go and click on the first result. Okay, now see, in my case, I have already deployed some of the applications. So I told you, Heroku allows you to deploy 5 applications. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In my case, I have already deployed 5 applications. So what I need to do is, I can go and I can delete one of the applications, right? And then I will try to, suppose let me delete MLDS 123. And because more than 5 applications, it is not going to allow us to deploy. That's why I will delete that particular application. So this is what I am going to do. In my case, there were 5 applications already on cloud, so that's why I'm going to delete the one. And see, this is free. Okay, so just go here and copy this name, Control C, Control V. That application is going to be deleted. Now see, I have 4 applications. Now I can deploy one more application. So now let's start with the steps. The first step. Now what we want to do? We want to deploy this particular application onto cloud now. It means what? It means this particular application. My application is where? My application is in this folder. My module is in this folder, right? So once you people will get the recordings for this particular session, you will get all these files. At that time, you people can go and you can try out the same things. Those who are interested, those who already know about it, no problem, right? But those who are interested, if you want to do it, if you want to deploy this particular application, and then if you face some difficulty, you just let me know. I will be happy to solve. Okay, now we want to deploy this application onto cloud. So first step is go and open command prompt. Okay, so go to the command prompt. This is the first step. Now wherever you have put all the files and the folders related to the application, go inside that location. So I am already inside that location, right? See, wherever my app.py file is, wherever the app.py file is residing, I should be in that location. So I am already in that location. So you just go and copy this location. I will copy this location. Right. Now go to command prompt and cd command. I hope you people are aware about cd command, change directory. So just go cd space, paste that location which I have copied. This is the location where all my files related to that model are actually residing. So cd and then whole path I have pasted here and then press enter. Now I am in the directory where all these files are residing. Right? All these files and folders are residing. I am in that directory. This is the first step. Now next step is, see what's going to happen is, as we are going to deploy the application. So in this case, in whatever the location I am currently, right, I am in currently this particular location. All the files related to my project, related to my application, are in this folder. So from that location I am going to put all those files onto git. Now what is git? Git is actually a repository. What do you mean by repository? Repository is something where you can store something, your files, your folders, you can store. So you might have heard about something called as GitHub. So GitHub is a repository. But let me tell you, Heroku has got its own Git. So you have option. Either you use Heroku's Git or you use GitHub repository. Both of them it is possible. So what are we going to do is, from my local machine, I am going to put everything onto Git repository. And from Git repository, we're gonna push the code onto Heroku cloud. And once your application is onto cloud, people might be at any location in the world, they will be able to make use of your application. This is what we want to do, right? So that's why what I'm going to do is, the next step I'm going to do is, I'm going to first of all log into Heroku, right? So how to log into Heroku? I show you. In my case, I already created a Heroku account. That's why I'm able to see something like this. Creating a Heroku account is not difficult. Just go to Google and just type create Heroku account. You will get all the steps. Right. So first step is to log into Heroku, because which cloud we are going to make use of? We are going to make use of Heroku cloud. So just type. See, there are only 6 to 7 steps. Once you observe here and once you try it on and later on you try it on your own, you will get it everything. Okay. So first step is Heroku login. So Heroku space login and enter. Now it will ask me to enter once again and then it will take me to the browser where it will ask me to click on login button. Right, now see, it is asking me to press any key once again. Now after this, what should happen is, it should take me to the browser like this. See, it has taken me to the browser and now it is asking me login to Heroku CLI, that is command line interface. So I will click on this login button. Once I click on this, it should show me logged in like this. Now as it is showing me logged in, now I will go to command prompt once again and there I should get that I am logged in. See, it is showing me that logging in is done and I am logged in as yogeshpm5555@gmail.com. This is my personal email ID. While creating the Heroku account, I have given this particular email ID and that's why it is showing me the same email ID right now. That is one thing. After Heroku login, the next step is Heroku create. Now Heroku create. What name I want to give to this particular application? So I want to give WPU. Suppose maybe WPU 456. This is the name I want to give to this particular application, and then press enter. If this name is available, no problem. If it is not, then it will show me here. Now see, it is saying creating done. Okay, and then this is the name given to the application. Once the name is given to the application, now the next step is to initialize Git. So to initialize Git, as I told you that from local machine we are going to put everything onto Git. or Git repository. That's why first of all you need to initialize Git. The command to initialize Git is git init and then press enter. Okay. Now say it is saying reinitialize existing Git repository. It's like starting, right? We are just initializing it so that we will be able to copy everything which is there in current directory. We should be able to copy that. We should be able to put that onto Git. Once Git is initialized, now if you want to know the status of Git, you can fire a command called as git status. Again, it is not compulsory. Okay, git status. So it is saying that nothing to commit, working tree is clean. That means we are on the right track. So as it is showing us working tree clean, the next step is whatever is there in the current directory, we need to put all those things onto Git repository. So for that, the command is git space add space dot. Now try to understand the meaning of this. Git, because we are trying to run a git command. Add means put, and single dot means what? Single dot means in the current directory. Whatever is in the current directory, you just need to put it onto Git repository. That's what this command is actually trying to say, and that's why we fired this particular command. Because single dot, those people who are aware about basic Linux command, they might be knowing. Single dot means current directory, and double dot means previous directory, right? So that's what the meaning is. Let me press enter. Now see it did not show me anything. That means I am on the correct one. Once we have fired git space add space dot, the next step is to commit everything. Whatever we have done till now, we need to commit that. So for that command is git space commit space hyphen am, and then in single quote or in double quote you need to use some string. Suppose I will give it a string like hello. Git space commit space hyphen am hello. This is the command to commit everything whatever we have done till now, and then press enter. Again working tree is clean. That means we are on the right track. Now there is a last step. Last step is to push your code onto cloud, push your application onto cloud. So for that the command is git push Heroku master. Git push Heroku master is the last command to push your application onto cloud. Now if everything is correct, our application will be deployed successfully. If not, then it will show us the respective message. Let's see. I pressed enter button. It is saying everything up to date, but it did not show me whether my application is deployed or not. So what I will do is I will tell cloud the actual name of my application. Sometimes what happens is cloud takes the previous name. Now see WPU456. If you people are able to see here, WPU456 is the name which we have given initially, right? This is the name which we have given initially. So what I will do is I will just make sure that the cloud should be aware about that particular name. I will just make sure that. So for that the command is this one. Heroku git colon remote space hyphen a and whatever the name of your application. In our case, the name of our application is which we have given is WPU456 and then press enter. So it is going to set the git repository, or it is going to set the git to this particular application. See WPU456. Now that means cloud is aware about that particular name. What I will do is I will fire git push Heroku master command once again, right? Which is the last command. Git push Heroku master command. I will fire it once again. Now, once everything is okay, it will show us all the steps. What are the files it is going to put? What are the packages it is going to download? Everything it is going to show it to you now. Let me press enter. Now let's see. Now see, it has started deploying your application onto cloud. See, it is saying Python app detector. You can check it. It is installing Python 3.6.12 because in this application I have given 3.6 version. See, it is installing SQL Library database. Why I have used SQL Library database? Because SQL Library is a lightweight database. What do you mean by lightweight database? Lightweight database means the database which requires negligible space, and it is installing all these packages. From where it came to know to install all these packages, that I will tell you. In our application, we have used one file which is called as and what you can say, mm, there's a txt file actually which we have actually made use of, where we have mentioned all the applications which we require, all the packages which we require for this application. And see, you can check it. This cloud has detected our application as a web application. Right? Again, there are different types of applications which can be created. So we created a web application because we have a HTML page as a front end. Now see, everything is okay. It is showing me that deploy is done. You can check it. Now that means our application is successfully deployed. Now, if you people want to make use of this particular application, I will have to copy this particular link. What I will do is, now I will copy this link and I will send it to you. And you just let me know whether you people are able to access my application or not. So mark it, let me copy it, okay, and just let me know whether you people are able to access the application or not. So I'm sending this particular link in the chat box. Okay, I hope everyone is able to see that. Just check whether you got the link in the chat box or not. Just copy that link, paste it in the address bar, and hit enter. And let me know yes or no whether you are able to see or access my application or not. See and try to understand. Our application is WPU456. Okay. Just let me know whether you people are able to access the application. Okay, Sharni is saying yes. So Anudya is saying yes. Okay, so I hope you people are able to. What about others? Are you people able to access the application now? I hope few more people. Can you please tell me whether you are able to access? Yeah, Shravan is saying yes. So see, that means if you people are able to use the application, that means application is successfully deployed onto cloud. These are the steps. See how actually easy it is. See, for example, maybe suppose in your curriculum, if you people also want to develop this kind of applications, and then not only machine learning applications, not only web applications like this, even you can deploy whatever you want. You can deploy a website, you can deploy any project, whatever you want. You can deploy machine learning models, deep learning models, AI models, whatever you want. Steps are going to remain same, right? So these are the steps which we actually make use of to deploy application onto cloud. I hope at least some of you have got the idea whatever is going on here, right? So we have simply seen the steps to deploy the application on the cloud. Okay, so for what cloud, for which cloud we have seen this? So here we talked about Heroku cloud. Later on, what you can do is, uh, if you are interested, you go and you just Google create Heroku account, and what you need to do is you just need to fill up some details. You need to give your email ID, and then in 5 to 7 minutes only your Heroku account will be ready. You will be able to deploy as many number of applications as you want. But see, as I told you that it's free, and it's free for 2 years, and you can deploy 5 applications at a time. So you will be able to make use of free account for 2 years. Maybe after 2 years, what you can do is you go and you make use of another email ID, right? And if you people remember, I told you Heroku allows you to deploy application of size at most of 500. In our case, if you see what is the size of our application, you can check 101.9 MB. So that's why we are able to deploy this particular application, right? People who might have lost in between and joined just now, just check into your chat box. I have sent one link to you people. Just go and click on that link or copy that link and paste it in the address bar and then hit enter. You will be able to access our application. Right? Those people who I think who might have joined, who might have lost in between and joined once again, just check in the chat box. I have sent the link to you people. What you can do is you can copy that link and hit the address bar, and then you will be able to access the link. So the point is that you are able to access the application from your place because now it is on cloud, right? So this is what generally we need to do once the application is ready. Now see, in this case, it's a really very basic application, right? Let me tell you what actually we have done, what we have done to do all these things. Let me go to the PyCharm IDE. Let me talk about all the files now. Okay, now see, the project folder is which one? If you go, if you see, this is the project folder. This static, everything you will be able to find out inside this particular folder, right? ML for cloud deployment hero. This is the name which I have given. So once I will upload the video for this particular session, I will be giving you this particular file as a zip file, this particular folder as a zip file. Your job will be what? Your job will be to unzip it. And then what you will be able to see once you unzip that particular file, you will be able to see all these files and folders once you unzip it. Right now, I want to tell you what is the meaning of all these files and folders. Let me go on now. See, when you run this particular application, what you are able to see, suppose let me also make use of that particular file. See, I'm able to see this one. I'm able to see this particular front page. Now, how is it possible that I'm able to see this particular front page? So it is possible because of this templates folder. Inside template, see, the name templates is a standard name. Whenever we want to create web applications, we make use of this standard name. These are the standard folders. So I will create a folder named as templates folder. Inside that templates folder, whatever you are able to see here, what are all these things? These are simple HTML codes. Even you can go and you can copy the HTML code from anywhere, whatever the design you want according to that. Right? Suppose if I go and if I try to open this one, base HTML. Suppose uh, let me go and let me try to show you the code, or maybe what I will do is in PyCharm I will show you the code of that. See, let me go to templates. Let me click on this base.html. Once I click on this base.html, you will be able to see. Now see, as and when I click on this base.html, you are able to see this HTML code. So this, what happens because of this particular page, you can check. See this. I hope you might have come across HTML many times. Again, it's not your job actually to write out the HTML code, but yes, as I use this particular thing in my application, that's why I'm just trying to explain you all these things so that you will be able to make some sense out of this. That is the only purpose. You can check it. I use something called as main.css. CSS stands for cascading style sheets. What happens is whenever you want different designs for your web pages, you can make use of CSS. So this is actually a body of your web page. If I go and if I try to show you index.html, index.html is the, this is the HTML code because of which you are able to see, this particular web page. This one. See, if I go to PyCharm once again, you will be able to see, predict your chances for admission by Mr. Yogesh Murumkar. So from why I have done this? See, you can check it. Same is here. So even if you go and you make use of my code and you make the changes in that, still you will be able to work on this. Are you getting? It's a simple HTML code, right? And once I go and once I click, once I go and once I fill up all the values, all these values, and click on this predict, I'll be able to see result like this. Now, from where I am getting this kind of a result, so this result we are getting from result.html. See, again this is HTML code, right? And at the back end, what do we have? So those people who are there when I showed you this particular thing, so one line you might have noticed that it has installed a database called as SQL Library. If you do not want SQL Library, if you have some another data, you can make use of some another database also, like MySQL or Heroku, sorry, MySQL or MongoDB, right? Even I have used MongoDB for this same application also, but again, that's not a part of your syllabus. That's why I did not show it. Okay, Gargi Kate, do not hurry. I will give you time. I will give you enough time to send your numbers and names in the chat box. Gargi, do not worry. I will give you time. Are you there? You want to leave early, right? Or let me know if this is not useful to you people. Let me know. I will stop. Okay, Gargi, and I will give you enough time. I think she has left. Okay, she is there. Yes, Gargi, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. If you think that it is not useful, just let me know. Okay, I also do not like to waste anybody's time. Right. So yes, I will. Other people, I will give enough time. Don't. So I was just trying to tell you use of this folder, right? So template inside templates folder, we generally put all the HTML. What is static? Inside static, we create a folder called as CSS, cascading style sheet. What is cascading style sheet? Again, it's ready. You can go and you can make use of any CSS files, whatever you want. So this is just for designing purpose. .id and .git are the files which will be automatically created when you try to deploy this particular application onto cloud. Okay. After that, what is this app.py? App.py is actually a main file. This is the file. This is your Python file where we have written the Python program and where we use finalize underscore modular pickle. Let me go here and let me show you. See, app.py. This is the file. I double click on that. This is the code in this file, right? And finalize underscore modular pickle file. If you go and if you try to open this file, you will not be able to understand anything from finalize underscore modular pickle. It's like an executable file, right? So app.py is your main Python program. Finally underscore model.pickle is your model which we created in the Jupyter. What is proc file? If you are able to see proc file, right? This one. What is this proc file? So this proc file is actually called as procedural file. What is there in procedural file? In procedural file, we write only one line of code. Web colon g unicorn app colon app. What is the meaning of this? It means that this particular file is actually searched by cloud and it tells cloud that okay, my application is a web application and it is going to make use of a web server. G unicorn is a web server which is available by default. So it is going to make use of a web server called as G unicorn and it's a application. Which application? Web application. This is the meaning of proc. So procedure file we need it whenever we want to deploy the application onto cloud. And I told you that we have mentioned all the packages which we are going to need for this particular application, and we mentioned those packages in this file requirements.txt file. Again, it's a standard name. If I double click on this, we will be able to see name of the package and corresponding version of the package which we have used in this particular project in this particular application. So requirements.txt file is the file where we mention all the names of the packages which we need in our code, in our application, in our project, in our module, right? And this train.py are not compulsory actually. Train.py in train.py what we have done is we have actually written all the import statements. If you remember, scikit-learn package I already talked about in the previous sessions only, where we have all different methods available like plain test script, linear regression. As we are making use of a linear regression, yes, we can see linear regression method is available in scikit-learn package, right? Import pickle, I already told you pickle file we use as an executable file. This is R square statistics, R square underscore score. So it is actually scikit-learn dot matrix. It's available. So all the import statements we have written in train.py. These are the files which we have used here. Now talking about this app.py code. So what we have used here is, let me tell you, if you people are aware about something called as frameworks. So in this case, we have used a framework called as Flask. Maybe some of you are aware about Flask. If you are not aware about Flask framework, don't worry. That's not is that is not what is required here actually. But yeah, in this application I use Flask framework. See, there are different frameworks which are available in the market. Flask is one of them. There is a Flask framework. Many of you might have heard about something called as Django framework. Then there is a framework called as Falcon. Then there is right now there is something called as Fast API, right? So out of all this, we have used Flask. Again, if someone is aware about any one of the frameworks, to learn others, it becomes easy, right? Now, if you ask me which will be the faster out of all this, Falcon is the fastest framework. Many times we have seen people making use of Django, people talking about Django and Flask, right? But yes, Falcon is the fastest. Everyone has its own advantages and disadvantages, and right now there is something called as Fast API. Do not worry if you are not aware about this particular thing. So I'm just talking about this particular thing because I used Flask framework. Now why? Why we have used Flask framework? Now framework is something which allows you to divide your application into different groups, to give your application different groups. So in our case, as I told you, our starting point is app.py. Now what happens is, what we have done is, we have given different routes to our application. So one is actually this route, which is the main route, or the first route, and another one is predict dot slash predict. So under slash predict, it's like a path, I can say. So these are the two routes our application follows. One is main route and another one is a predict route. Under predict only, it's going to show us the result. So if I go and if I try to show you how our application is accepting the inputs from the users, let me directly go to that particular route. See, if we have written a simple if statement here, right? We have written a function called as index, and we have written a simple if statement, and in try and accept log we have written gre score, right? So what do you mean by this request.form? That means we are going to take the input from the user in the form of a form request. See, form request means what? HTML form. See here, this is called as form request. We are taking the inputs in GRE, profile, and all these things, right? This is a form request, and that's why request.form we have used, right? So similarly, you can go and you can check profile score, university rating, SOP, LOR, CGPA, and whether the research is done or not. For that, we have yes or no button, right? So like this, like this. So how we are able to do it? Because of this particular thing, this particular system. If so, request.form research, if research equal to yes, then research is one. If no, then zero. If else zero, and then we have finally used this particular line, right? Model was already there. It was already there. We have just loaded that particular model, right? And we created HTML pages. Okay. And finally, we have printed loaded underscore model dot predict. So whatever we got, DRS score, profile score, all the inputs we passed to this particular model, and our model has given the result. Prediction is, and that prediction we printed with the help of result.html page, and we multiplied the result with 10. And then finally, because of that result.html page only, you will be able to see your chance for admission is, right. So something like the message which you printed here. Yeah. So prediction is, it is printing this one, right? And if suppose there is some problem, then it is going to show me exception message. And what is there on result.html page? So if I go and if I try to show result.html page, see, your chance for admission is, in curly bracket we use prediction variable. And what is this prediction variable? This prediction variable, if you see, it will be having the actual value of the prediction. This is how everything is connected, right? So I'm just trying to give you a overview, right? So that at least you understand what happens after creating the model. So these are the things which happen after creating the model, right? But no problem if you are not aware about all these things, do not worry. But I just wanted to discuss about linear model, and I just tried to discuss each and everything for at least one model. After this, what I will be doing is, suppose next algorithm is support vector machine. So I will not go and try to show you application like this. I will directly completing the algorithm, and that's it, right? This is what I wanted to tell you people, right? I know that people are in a hurry to attendance. So what I will do is now 10 minutes are already there. So that's what I wanted to tell you. If anyone is having any question, you can ask. Otherwise, I will stop here, and you people can start sending your numbers and names. Okay, I will stop here. If anyone any question, just let me know.